Hey guys, today I want to talk about everything I love and hate about the F80 generation BMW M3, specifically this competition pack M3 behind me. So I spent a lot of time with this car. We'll start with the positives. One of the things I absolutely love about this car is the styling. I think this generation is one of the best looking ones out there. Personally, I really prefer the M3 over the M4 because of right here. You see in the back, the flared out wheel arches on a sedan just look so aggressive. I love the way they look here. On the competition, these 666 style wheels look really good. I really prefer them without the orange accents, just like the silver look to it. Got the big carbon ceramic brakes behind it. This has some nice add-on carbon fiber pieces. Love the white on black combination. I just think this Gen M3 looks very, very nice. Really aggressive around back too. You got the signature quad tailpipes on the M3 generation, obviously. No crazy diffuser, a little nice carbon fiber lip. Overall, big fan of the way this thing looks. The next thing I really like are the seats, specifically the seats in the competition package. So we've got these red leather seats. This M badge actually lights up at night, which is kind of cool. They have these cutouts, which my friend John jokes that you can punch somebody, you punch the driver in the kidneys. They make them look pretty cool, marginal weight savings. But the main thing is the comfort combined with the sporty aggressiveness. So these bolsters are pretty aggressive. They hold you in there, but they're not horrible. I mean, I've taken this car on, I just got back from another road trip up northern Michigan, taken on 2 or 3 different road trips, spent 3 hours in the car, no issues, no complaints. Lumbar support isn't the best, but I mean, it's a sporty M sedan. But I really like the seats, the combination of the fact that you can sit in them for a while, they're still comfortable, they look really nice, and they will hold you in really well. They're nice and snug, they kind of hug you there. Really a big fan of the seats. The next thing I really like about the M3 is the power. So it has a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 now, forced induction. It means it doesn't sound quite as good as the previous generation. We'll talk about sound in a little bit, but what it means, it has a ton of torque and a ton of horsepower, and it feels really strong. Rated at 444 horsepower, the owner John actually describes it as the German muscle car because it's so tail happy and just aggressive. Once you're rolling, you put your foot down, drop a couple gears, it just pulls like a freight train. It pulls so hard until you are well into the very illegal, possibly lose license, possibly get car impounded speeds. It is a strong motor. I really do like, even low end, lots of power. It'll rev out a little bit, but I mean, just the performance of the car is really, really awesome. Tying into performance of the car, we'll actually hop in the car to show you guys this, are the variability of the drive modes. So something BMW has that's really nice is, first you can see on the steering wheel, you've got M1 and M2 buttons, which can be linked to various different settings, but then you can independently vary anywhere, traction control, you can change your engine powertrain response, your suspension feel, steering, that's the camera stuff, and then here's for the transmission. That level of customizability is actually really nice because I can completely set it to whatever I want, hot link to my M1, M2 buttons. I can then independently just say, I don't feel like a really heavy steering Sport Plus. I can drop steering into comfort or just regular sport. That's really nice. In a lot of cars, for example, the Alfa Romeo, you were just stuck between like drive, something else, and like race. In the Audis, you can do a customized driver profile for all the settings, but they're kind of stuck. You're stuck with the dynamic or the comfort or the automatic mode. You can't independently vary them on the fly, which is a really, really nice feature that the BMW M car provides. Next up is something that I sort of love and I sort of hate. It's kind of in the middle. I kind of feel neutral about it, and it's the sound. I briefly mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the engine. It's not great, but it's not horrible. So when you first turn the car on, I'll turn it off right now. Oh yeah, I'll put the windows down real quick. We're in neutral. Start it up. It's warm. I've been driving it for a while. First thing I do whenever I start the car up is I put it into full M2 mode immediately, which puts the drivetrain into Sport Plus. The valves will open up. It gets a little bit louder. It will crackle and pop a little bit, but it doesn't have the same charisma as like the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. The AMG V8's definitely louder and stronger. When you're driving around, it will downshift. When you downshift, it'll crackle and pop a lot. It does a lot of that on overrun, which does sound cool. When you're accelerating, it's got a decent straight 6 sound to it, but to me, it's not exciting enough. It's not exotic in any way. It doesn't sound particularly melodious or anything. It makes a lot of noise. It does sound kind of mean, but I don't love the sound, but I also don't hate it because there are worse things out there that definitely sound worse. All right, now let's talk about some of the things that I really dislike and some that I absolutely hate. Like, I legitimately, one of these things drives me insane, and it's happened multiple times. So we're just sitting here, car's parking brake on. We will turn the car off, push it into park. It's in park there, car is off. We open the driver's side door, we get out. Okay, now hop out of the car, we close the door. Now, let's just say I want to get something from the back seat. I go to open this door, oh shoot, it's locked. Wait. It doesn't have comfort access. There's no comfort access on the back doors of the M3. On this car, on the front doors, you can see that was to lock it. Oops, there you go, that's to unlock it. Comfort access works that way. Just key is in my pocket. I don't need to take it out. Just put your hand in, unlock it. So if you forget to do that, you can't open the rear doors, which, I don't know, drives me insane. On my S4, on my RS7, a lot of cars, it has comfort access on both the front doors and the rear doors. So it's just kind of irritating. I mean, you get out of the car, you expect it all to unlock, but you can't get to it. You have to either go do the front door, comfort access it, or just unlock all the doors. It drives me insane. Many times I go to the back seat to grab something, and I just can't get back into the car. That irritates me. Here is something that I originally disliked, but eventually you get used to it, so it's not hate, but it could be confusing to somebody first getting into one of these. It's the transmission shifter knob. So it's kind of confusing. You look at this thing, you got reverse, neutral, in the middle here, and then drive. So the way to do it is, turn the parking brake off. We are in park. To the left is in neutral, so now we're in neutral. You just kind of rev it. If you go all the way to the right, you go into drive. It says D right there. Now we can move forward. Which inch forward a little bit. To go into the reverse, you go to the left to neutral and then up into reverse. It stays there. Now you are in reverse, and we can go backwards a little bit. Now when it gets really confusing is there is no park. There's no park at all. You go here, you go to the right, you're in drive. If you were just put it in neutral, and let's see, show you guys this first. Put it in neutral, pull the parking brake all the way up in neutral, and you turn the car off. It gets angry at you. It will say, transmission in neutral, vehicle cannot be locked. It will then jump in the park though when you turn the car all the way off. So there's different kind of ways to do it. Usually what I do is I'll just leave it in drive or reverse. If you're just in drive, parking brake all the way up and turn the car off, it will pop in the car when you turn the car off, and then you can go ahead and get out. So in short, the BMW dual clutch transmission shifter knob can be a little confusing. The SMG was like that too. How to start it, what mode you have to be in. Kind of think of it as sort of a manual transmission sort of. So leave it in gear, parking brake up, and then you can turn the car off. But yes, to get going, drive is to the right. Same thing, this is now you're in vehicle control drive. If you want to go to full manual mode, you can pull it to the right. You'll see it's got the little one with the 3 little transmission mode things, and now you can shift with the paddle shifters. It will actually hold a gear all the way to red line. The last thing that I really dislike about the M3, specifically the competition, is the ride quality and how firm it is. It's pretty uncomfortable actually. This car never ever leaves comfort suspension mode. I never put it, even if powertrain and sport are in full sport plus. I've got M2 mode, I've got traction control off. I'm leaving ride suspension quality in comfort mode because that's how uncomfortable it is. I don't understand why it has to be so firm. Some people seem to think firmer suspension means sportier performance, whatever. That's actually not always true. Unless you're on the absolute smoothest racetrack, you want some amount of compliance in your suspension because you want the tire to stay in contact with the road as much as possible. When it's this firm, it's just not usable. It actually can upset the car sometimes, and to the driver and passengers, it's actually uncomfortable. It seems like they took a step up. The sport mode in the regular M3 became comfort in this car. Sport Plus in that M3 became comfort, or became sport in this car, and then Sport Plus is just another level of harshness. The M3 CS is even worse. One of my good friends has an M3 CS now. He told me it is horrible ride quality. He was worried his mother's feelings were gonna fall out when he took her for a ride because that's how firm that car is. So pretty much I never take this car out of comfort suspension mode. I leave it in there even if I'm in full M2 mode, driving around for fun, driving the thing hard. And it's kind of a shame because this could be it is a great daily driver. You want it, it's practical, it's usable, you can have fun with it, but the ride quality, especially in Michigan, sucks. It's horrible, not comfortable. Big downside there. But overall, I still love the M3. I think it's a great vehicle. Love this generation. I personally think the competition is the nice sweet spot in between the base and the CS. We're gonna do a comparison between this one and the CS with two of my friends. John, who owns this one, Jason has a CS. We'll do the ownership comparison between the two. I've thought about getting M3. I still would consider getting M3. I think it's a great car. I love it. But there we go. Talked about some of the things I really liked about it, some of the things I really dislike about it. Hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching.